I get it. We all have our comfort zones, and we have a hard time stepping outside of them. But this is a conversation that my family has been having actually for decades. We've owned a travel agency, and we actually even had a travel show.
Travel Talk. Brought to you by Marathon Travel Agency of Wausau. Now your host, Harlan Hunger.
Good evening. Welcome to Travel Talk. Well, this week we brought along our daughter Terry, who just recently returned from South Africa.
Even back then, this was very much a conversation, and that was before travel was far less accessible than it is today. But we went in here today to talk to the experts to try to help everyone get out of that comfort zone and see the world. What is comfort when it comes to travel? A beach vacation to a nearby place or all-inclusive resort? A road trip to a neighboring country or state? Or escaping to the mountains? But getting out of that comfort zone isn't easy. So we've got 3 tips from the experts we hope help expand that zone, especially since some vacations are designed to do just that. So you can be comfortable even in the uncomfortable.
The world is so big and you only live once. It sounds a bit cliche, but the incredible richness of South America, you can feel it everywhere.
It will change your life.
The first tip is tune out the negative noise.
Safari is something that kind of takes people outside of their comfort zone a little bit. You know, it's something a bit different, something people haven't done. You know, Africa is not the big dark continent that it was. It's obviously a bit easier to travel there now, and there's a lot more people handling it. I think one of the biggest issues that we have with tourism coming to Africa or to my country, to Zimbabwe, there's a lot of false news out there, a lot of false press. And if I'm honest, I think that our destination of Zimbabwe is one of the safest in all of Africa, and if not the world, okay? The public makes out there's all sorts of stuff going on and negativity, but that's the news, okay? So the best thing is to do is find a good, reputable operator, trust them, come in country with us, and we handle everything for you from when you arrive until you leave, and we guarantee that everything's gonna be all good.
You should take a risk, always be safe as well, be a little bit conscious about where you're doing, where you're at, but I mean, there's just no way that you should miss out on a place like this. Some spots that you should definitely avoid. There's also some areas that you should not go, as in anywhere in the world. But out here in Galapagos, we don't lock our doors, we leave our bikes in the street.
And yes, we know they're supposed to say those things to make you want to come. But if they're wrong, trust me, word would get around. The second tip is to try solo. I've done solo trips to 4 different continents, but I get it. It can be scary, especially for women. But that's why we enlisted the help of Jennifer Broom, who essentially does solo trips for a living to help.
You know, people are really scared to travel solo, but I would say, first of all, start small. Maybe, you know, if you've never gone and dined by yourself, go to a restaurant by yourself first. Do that. And then venture out, do a weekend. We have so many wonderful places in the United States to visit in a weekend. Go spend a weekend solo alone, road trip alone. And then when you're a little bit more adventurous, go for it around the world. You don't want to just take off and go on a 14-day excursion by yourself if you've never traveled solo. You do have to be prepared that things will happen, be flexible in your own schedule, but the best part about traveling solo, you're the boss and nobody gets to change your plans but you.
But the experts know it can be tough and create vacations designed for that.
We love a solo traveler at the end of the day. You know, solo travelers, we have groups they can link onto, stuff like that, so we can cater for everybody.
And it's a way that you can interact, I feel like, a lot more with locals when you do travel solo, because you're forced to talk to people. You're forced to ask other people for directions. You're dependent on yourself, so you have to ask for help from others. And it's just a great way to find out from locals, you know, what are their favorite places. I always, wherever I am around the world, you know, I make sure I talk to hotel staff, restaurant staff. They're always the ones that have the skinny on the best things to do.
Lastly, be spontaneous. Not every trip needs to be expansive or even planned out in advance. To push that comfort zone a little, don't talk about taking a trip. That can last years. If you have a dream trip, just book it. It'll change your life.
What's the most spontaneous travel decision you've ever made?
Trek to Everest Base Camp.
Nepal is a safe destination, as I said before. So if you even live in the comfort zone as America, if you come out from the America, definitely Nepal is safe.
What's the most spontaneous travel decision you've ever made?
Oh man, we went in a really cool ice climbing expedition that I had not expected after only 4 days of getting to Quito.
Try some of these trips, or even just one, and we know that you can bust out of that comfort zone.
I think it comes with appreciating other cultures, and it comes from being very open and being willing to learn. I can tell you the first time I ever went to Asia, a little overwhelmed by the number of people in the cities, but noodles for breakfast, I was a-okay with that. You know, it's taking those little things and those little parts of different cultures around the world and enjoying those. You know, there's a lot to visit in the United States, but it's a whole big wide world out there and a lot to see.
It's a great big world. See as much as you want. You won't regret it.
So that's it. You can see the world, step outside your comfort zone, and it's not as scary a place as it might look in the first place. So don't forget to share those places that you want to see most in the comment section below, and then like and subscribe to the channel so we can keep this all going and keep the conversation moving. See you next time.